Obviously, we're going to be breaking down what happened yesterday with one of the biggest one-day drops in the stock market in U.S. and world history, completely engineered. We know that it was staged. We know that the official story that somebody had a fat finger and dumped too much Procter & Gamble stock. Instead of $1 million, it said $1 billion. We know that's a lie. Because at the exact same time, 8 other major stocks plunged to almost zero. And then you got to see the plunge protection team, the President's Committee, I guess, on open markets, come in and drive it back up. In less than 10 minutes, it dropped right at 1,000 points and was driven back up. And we've confirmed the reports. It's now in mainstream news, but I heard callers to talk radio yesterday here in Austin saying, look, we all tried to go in and buy and sell and do things, and we were locked out of all of our services. So probably a staged event. I don't know what Bob Chapman, who's got a lot of sources throughout government, industry, and finance and the stock market, is going to say, but he is joining us today in the third hour to break down what's happening with this and, of course, what's going on with the situation in Greece, now becoming a black hole, sucking the rest of Europe, the United States, and, of course, many other sectors of the world economy into it. We know this is being engineered by the IMF and World Bank and the private banks that control those holding companies. So that is coming up in the third hour. In the second hour, we have Gerald Celente on the economy, on the stock market plunge yesterday. We'll get his take on what really caused it. I know he's off investigating it right now ahead of this interview. Also, he was on the show 2.5 weeks ago, and said, mark my words, we're going to have terror attacks from Pakistan. And 2010 will be the summer of real terror and staged terror. And it will be the year of riots. 2010 will be the year of riots and terrorism and World War III. And now Mark Faber, who's also one of the best analysts out there, very scary record of being right. He says 90% chance in the next 9 to 12 months that China is going to completely go into meltdown and depression. And of course, they hold the majority of U.S. Treasury bonds. I mean, it is getting hardcore. And so we'll be talking to Gerald Celente today, and we'll also be talking to Bob Chapman, who's been off for 2 weeks. So it's perfect timing to have him back now. He had a couple golf tournaments he wanted to play in the last 2 Fridays. So I'm glad he wasn't off for golf tournaments when this happened. I tell you, the other story I want to get into upset me last night. It upset me today. It's got me in a very, very nasty mood. It's got me in a very, very nasty mood. And that is this SWAT team video out of Missouri. And so at the bottom of the hour, in about 25 minutes, we're going to go live at prisonplanet.tv. So this is also on video record for prisonplanet.tv members that would like to tune in. And we'll also air the audio here at the syndicated radio broadcast. And the reason this upsets me so bad is it kind of brought back flashbacks from stories, countless stories I did here in Austin, where the exact same thing is done. And to watch the cops getting off on the power trip of evil really brought home to me how much danger this nation is in. So we're going to break that down coming up as well. And we got a bunch of other important news. But Gerald Celente, then Bob Chapman, and also open phones throughout the broadcast. The websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I'm Alex Jones, doing my best to wake people up to face this tyranny.
Columbia Police search warrant! Columbia Police search warrant! Take it up. Hey, get to the door. Go, get to the door. Police department, don't move! Police department, don't move! Police department, don't move! Police department, don't move!
This, my friends, is pure evil. And we're going to start simulcasting the radio show today for a full 3.5 hours. Coming up at the bottom of this hour, I shot a special video presentation for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers that we will upload to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and the YouTube channel later today that illustrates why I am so fundamentally upset about this video. But I'll tell you now the basic reasons. I have been on Access Television. That's where I started out 15 years ago in Austin. And very early on, families would call me, family after family. And we've done video news reports on this. I know in our archives we have them. In fact, Mike Hansen ought to upload those to his archive if he can dig them out so people can see it. And I would go to these little middle-class houses, and I would see dead Labradors, dead Chihuahuas, dead German Shepherds, their guts, their intestines blown all over the walls. In one case, the black lab was in the kitchen, and it was actually chained up on its dog bed. And if a dog barks, it's called dog killing detail. It is killed. And they rotate whoever is on dog killing detail. And when they come in your house, in all the Austin cases I saw, it was for marijuana. In most cases, no marijuana was even found. In one case, the people didn't even smoke marijuana. The others were all forthcoming, saying, big deal, we shouldn't get SWAT teamed for this. And they send in paramilitary thugs to shoot your dog. And in one case, the bullets went through the wall and through the baby crib and came less than a foot away from the year-old baby's head. There's all the famous cases of police throwing flashbangs into babies' cribs through the window and burning the baby over 95% of its body. That was a Texas case. I mean, you've seen it. You've read about it. Or the wrong 92-year-old lady's house in Virginia, and they gun her down and then lie and say that she pulled a gun on them, and then it came out she didn't. Or you hear about the retired insurance salesman in a wealthy area. The drug informant says they buy cocaine there. They go there. They shoot the guy and paralyze him. And you realize that the government is shipping the drugs in. They've been caught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And now they just admit in front of the Congress, yeah, the CIA ships the cocaine in. Yeah, our troops grow and cultivate and protect the opium, and it's increased 12-plus times the last 8 years out of Afghanistan. And yeah, we grow it, but then we're going to use it as an excuse to send paramilitary men in black uniforms to your house. And if your French bulldog jumps off your bed when men bust in and barks, we're going to kill it. If your Welsh Corgi, that was one of the dogs killed in this latest video, if your Welsh Corgi runs around the corner, jumps out of your bed, we're going to kill it. And then you got to watch him shoving little 5- and 6-year-old kids around, and the woman crying and the man crying. And then they found 1 gram of marijuana in this Missouri case. 1 gram. That's not even a joint, not even a marijuana cigarette. And they charged him, the CPS is trying to take their kids. They said it's endangerment that you had marijuana. You caused what the police did, and so we're going to take your children. And we've caught so many police planting drugs on people, who knows if they even did find the marijuana pipe and the marijuana. I mean, how many squad car videos have you seen where the cops frame people on their own videos? And they know what they're doing. They ship the drugs in, so they have an excuse to be involved in our lives. They ship the drugs in. It's an open secret. Every cop you talk to knows the government's shipping the drugs in. And because it's illegal, it drives the price way up. And so it creates a corrupting influence of judges, police, government, and the general public. What do they say on Fox News and the New York Times and AP and Reuters? Oh, we've got to help the Afghans grow the poppies, because if we don't, Al-Qaeda will, and they'll get the money. No, you decriminalize drugs, and then Al-Qaeda, as if it's not Al-Qaeda, won't have that money. That's how twisted this is. And this is their excuse to engage in this un-American activity. And you go back 30 years ago with Special Weapons Attack Teams, then they changed the name to Special Weapons and Tactics, more politically correct. It started out for bank robberies, for hostage situations. And then, oh, well, there's a bigger statistical chance in drug raids that it's going to be dangerous for officers. And now they have officers just in regular pot raids and checkpoints on the highway. And you watch the video, and they're pointing their machine guns at the little kid, and the woman is there. And the guy starts crying when he learns they've killed his dogs. And you see the cops on these power trips just with looks of enjoyment on their faces. It tears my soul out. Meanwhile, police, their lives are endangered with these type of tactics. Their lives are endangered out raiding people for drugs. But that's the family business. That's the government family business. That's their excuse to put tens of millions of people in the criminal justice system, the most imprisoned country on earth. That's their excuse. That's the criminal element.